I am Supreme, and today's Astro Oracle investigation will be on Asha Degree. She was a 9-year-old who vanished from her home in Shelby, North Carolina during a severe storm, February the 14th, 2000. Today is October the 8th, 2025. This is 25 years later. Asha Degree has still not been heard of or found. However, there were some things that were found, and we're going to get down to those things. So Asha Degree was born August the 5th, 1990. I have the planetary alignments in front of me of when Asha Degree was born, and I have the planetary alignment of when Asha Degree vanished. Okay, and we're going to be pulling from these alignments and opening up charts and pulling cards, and we're going to find what happened to Asha Degree. We're going to find her body today. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop these Oracle investigations. You are about to witness a high-ranking Oracle. So let's tune in to Asha Degree's energy. Asha Degree vanished from her home in Shelby, North Carolina during a severe storm. Now, I don't know too much about this case. This was like a last minute thing because I was doing other things and I just happened to come into my studio and I said, let me do an investigation. Um, and I have a whole list full of investigations, but something pulled me to Asha Degree. She's written on one of these papers that I have. I have papers everywhere of these investigations that I need to do. They're all over the place. So Asha Degree came out, and I didn't even watch no podcasts or nothing. I didn't watch no news media on Asha Degree. All I know is I seen her picture because I looked up her date of birth. Okay, so that's when I saw her picture. So I see her in my head now, but that's all I know. When I complete this reading, I'm going to watch some podcasts on Asha Degree because I don't know anything about this case other than what I read online when I typed in her name. Okay, and I read it under everything that you're going to hear me talk about right now is all that I know on Asha Degree. Normally, I would watch like numerous podcasts days before leading up to the day that I actually come on here and do the investigation. However, with Asha Degree, I have not. And it doesn't matter because I'm a high-ranking oracle. Because I'm going to tune into her energy with what I have. And that's going to be the high-ranking oracle reading. Okay? Get ready to witness this for yourself. So Asha Degree was a 9-year-old. She vanished from her home in Shelby, North Carolina during a severe storm. She was last seen walking along a road wearing a white garment and ran into the woods when a truck driver stopped to investigate. Okay? Now, I have some index cards that I normally keep during cases like this. If you ever notice cases that I don't have a lot of information on, I haven't really watched podcasts on, I start taking notes automatically. So the truck driver, that's a ninth house. And that's also Sagittarius's house. That's Sagittarius's energy. Okay, so we're going to be looking at what Sagittarius energy, wherever Sagittarius energy is, and the ninth, what's going on in the ninth house, because the truck driver is attributed to ninth house activity. Okay, traveling, truck driving on the road, long distance travels and journeys, that's a ninth house activity, and that is a Sagittarius activity. So, I'm going to definitely be looking up that. Also, she was last seen, wearing a white garment, ran into the woods when a truck driver stopped to investigate. Okay. 1 year later, 2001, her backpack was found buried near a construction site 30 miles from her home. So we know she didn't walk. Clearly, she was transported. Or maybe not. Okay, maybe her bag being buried 30 miles away was just a distraction from where her body is actually located at, which is probably nowhere near where her backpack was buried. That's normally how cases turn out, but I'm going to keep reading. Asha Degrees, the investigators investigating her case believe she may have been abducted and killed with her body concealed. No, of course. September 2024, which was only last year. So obviously this case is still ongoing. Like there are leads coming in that's cracking the case. I'm about to put the cherry on top though. September 2024, which was only last year, search warrants were executed on properties connected to the Dedman family in Cleveland and Lincoln counties after DNA from a hair found in Asha's backpack, that backpack that they found buried, matched Anna Lee Dedman Ramirez. That will definitely crack a case. So, in April of 2025, which was only a couple of months ago this year, the property owned by the Dedmans in Lincoln County, a school property at that, was searched. So this Dedman family is a very wealthy family. Okay, they own they own properties, including school property. A man back in 2024 told authorities that he overheard one of the Dedman daughters, Lizzie Foster, claim she killed Asha. That's all I have. That's all I need. So, we have, let me locate this other family. Okay, I'm going to look at where, sometimes other families that may be involved is kind of like when Cancer energy shows up in the 11th house. So that's Aquarius's house. I'm going to be looking at what's going on in the 11th house too. The 11th house, okay? We're going to be looking at Aquarius because Aquarius rules the 11th house, okay? To find out if other people's families, and then I'm going to be looking at where Cancer is at, especially in relation to Aquarius, which will represent other people's families in the community. So, let's pull these two charts. Okay, Asha Degree was born August the 5th, 1990. The sun was in Leo and the moon was in Capricorn. And y'all know how I formulate time. Time is the sun divided by moon cycles. So when you put a Capricorn moon in Leo's house, which is the 5th house, Virgo is rising. So Asha Degree had a Virgo ascendant chart. Okay? And Capricorn is in the 5th house. Okay? So Asha was a Leo. Where is she at? Right here in the 12th house. So there was a lot to Asha Degree's energy that we will never know about because she carried that type of energy since birth. There's a lot that we didn't know about. Okay. Also, Asha Degree, I see, suffered some suffered a lot of health issues. Okay. She may have she suffered frequent malnutrition. Okay. Anytime Virgo is rising, okay, this is clearly, and especially when the person is actually a Leo, that means her sun is here. So she was actually an individual who had a lot of health limitations, like her health wasn't fully developed, okay, and neither was she, because she's in the 12th house, and the 12th house represents everything that needs to be developed. Okay, so none of her Leo qualities were developed. She may have been the kind of child that she grew up very quick. She didn't even have a chance to be a child because her childhood was never developed. I don't know anything about Asha Degree. I'm just looking at the chart of her birth. Okay, so let's pull the chart of the day she vanished to find out what's coming first so we can start to connect these dots. So the day Asha Degree vanished, February 13th, 2002, the sun was in Aquarius and the moon was in Taurus. So time is the sun divided by moon cycles. If you put the Taurus moon inside of Aquarius's house, which is the 11th house, right? So Cancer is rising. How did I know that? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So when you put Taurus in Aquarius's house, which is the 11th house, Cancer is rising. Remember, I told you I'm going to follow everything on this sheet to find out about this other family. So clearly, as you can see for yourself, that some aspect of this other family is involved. This is a family chart. The fourth house is a family chart. Cancer is the fourth sign of the zodiac. It represents the home, the family, the home front, the mother. And this is why this is a fourth house. Okay? So, if you look in the fourth house, you'll see Libra, which represents relationships with your family. And Taurus, which is where the moon was when she vanished, which is why we put it in Aquarius's house. Okay? Is also Taurus and Libra both rule Venus. So we're going to look at what Venus was doing. What was Venus doing the day Asha vanished? Venus was in Capricorn. Where is Capricorn in this chart? Capricorn is right here in the 7th house. So when it's in the Capricorn is the father figure. Okay? So this could be the father figure of this other family. Okay? Now, where's this other family at? Aquarius. Right here in the house of death. You can't make this shit up. The other family clearly played a role in her death. They are responsible in some form of fashion, if not in all forms of fashion. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. The other family is who they need to be questioning, especially the father figure of that other family. So now, like I said before, let's see what's going on in the 9th house. And let's see if this truck driver that apparently saw Asha when she ran into the woods, let's see where he's located at, if he has anything to do with this. In the chart of the day Asha disappeared, where's Sagittarius? Right here at work. This is the truck driver. He was at work in the 6th house. Now, Asha is a Virgo rising. The 6th house is Virgo's house. And that is the energy that comes first in Asha. She is a 6th house baby. Look at that shit. She is a 6th house baby. Look where the truck driver is at, in the 6th house of the day she disappeared. So, of course, the truck driver and Asha did have an interaction. They did have an interaction. They did have an interaction. Okay, now what's going on in the truck driver's house, which is the 9th house? In the 9th house, I see Pisces. Pisces rules the 12th house, where Asha was born at. She was a 12th house baby. Now the truck driver, wow. In the 12th house of the day she vanished, you see Gemini, which represents the road, traveling, which is where the truck driver saw her at. Okay, that truck driver got out the truck, okay, and went in to those woods where he saw Asha running into. Went into those woods. Now, I don't know if this truck driver has any dealings with this family, the Deadman family, but I'm seeing the truck driver and the Deadman family involved in this investigation. So, let's pull who. Who is responsible, Asha, for your disappearance and your death? Because I'm quite sure Asha is gone. Because look in her birth chart. In the house of death, you see Aries. Already the day she disappeared, we know the family plays a major role in the death. If she's gone, that family is right here in the house of death. The 8th house is the house of death. I always look there to see if anybody's dead or any dots that we can connect to lead to the death. And Uranus rules Aquarius. And Uranus was also right here in Aquarius the day Asha vanished. Okay? Now, Asha's Uranus is in Capricorn, which is the father of this other family. Where's Capricorn at in the chart of Asha? Capricorn is in the 5th house. That's Asha's house, Leo's house. She's a Leo, but she's in the 12th house hiding. There's a lot of stuff that was hidden between Asha and her father, as well as father figures, period. Capricorn energy. Asha's energy had a lot of interactions with authority figures that was hidden. Sounds like some type of sex trafficking going on. That's what I see. And in the house of death, I see Aries. Aries in the house of death. Mars rules Aries. And guess where Mars was the day Asha disappeared? Right here in Aries. Let's look at where Aries was the day she actually disappeared. The day she actually disappeared, Aries is right there in the 10th house. That's Capricorn's house. That is Capricorn's house. Look closely. You see Capricorn right there in red? All of the signs in red and the numbers represent whose house it is and what house it is. Everything in black represents who's actually there. Okay? Asha's death energy is in Capricorn's house. Okay? With Aquarius that represents the other family in the house of death. Can't make this up. Who, Asha Degree, who should we be zooming in on today? Today is October the 8th, 2025. Who should we have been zooming in on all along, and who can we zoom in on to today? Asha, who's responsible for your death? Who is responsible for your death, Asha? Who is responsible for Asha Degree's death? A lover in the 8th house. There was some sex trafficking going on. Yep, that's the house of death. And when the lover card shows up, this is somebody that was fooling around with her sexually. The 8th house is the house of sex. We just got finished looking at what's in the 8th house. Aries, and then the 8th house represents the other family. Now, this father figure may have been an Aries, because Aries energy is in the 8th house. And then the day she disappeared, it showed up in the father's house. So the father, whether it's her father or the father of this other family, Mr. Deadman, the lover. Where's your body at? Lost and found. They found your backpack. Asha Degree. Where's your body? Lead us to your body. Lead us to Asha Degree's body. Asha Degree, who was born August the 5th, 1990, who vanished February 13th, 2000. Where is your body? Where? That popped out. So I'm going to use that. Let's see what this is that popped out. A wooded area in the 4th house. Look at that. The day she disappeared in a 4th house chart. Yes, in a wooded area. That this family, because this is the chart of the other family that came out. Her body is in a wooded area. And it makes sense. That's where the truck driver seen her run into the woods. It makes perfect sense. In the 4th house, in a wooded area. That's where her body is. That is where her body is. That is my story and my reading on Asha Degree, and I'm sticking to it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop these investigations. Y'all be blessed. Rest in peace, Asha Degree.